What's up, YouTube? This is Akito Detzel here, and I'm back after my long break. Sorry for not uploading any videos. It's probably been about 3 months now or something like that. I have no idea. I've just been really busy with school and stuff, university stuff, it's crazy. Alright, so I'm back. I'm going to be bringing you a deck profile of my Satellarknight deck. I managed to pick this up between when I made my last video and now, so I'm going to be showing it to you. This is for the Necros format, quote-unquote. So, yeah, post Secret Forces, Satellarknights, let's get right into it. Alright, obviously for the main deck, we're using 3 of the beautiful Deneb. Love this card, it's great. It's white and gold, and Stratos is black and blue. What color is Stratos really? They're the same thing. They search. It's good. 3 Altair, because, Wolfbark is a good card. Altair is a good card. Altair is Wolfbark. I'm playing 2 unukalhai right now. I might consider bumping this up to 3 just because this kind of helps out with your brick hands. If you can open with this, it's essentially the same thing as opening with Deneb, because you can just dump it out and you play so many ways to tutor out from the graveyard. It's actually really good. So if I was going to play 3, I'd probably cut one of the vegas for it. Early on when I was playing this deck, I found myself relying on vega a lot to do triverr plays. Triverr plays are still good. I think delteros is probably a little better in some matchups right now. But once you get the one vega in the graveyard, which would get there by an unukalhai, you're pretty much good for the rest of the game. So maybe drop one of these for another unuk, or it's basically player preference at that point, just how you feel like you want to play it. Last up for the monster, I am playing 2 Effect Vader just because Necros is it's a pretty relevant deck right now, you might say. It's kind of totally dead against Cleafort. It does have some use against Burning Abyss because you can hit tour guides and Dantes and stuff, and then we play Mirror Forces in the main, so it has good interactions with Mirror Force. So I like the card. Not very good against Clifford, like I said. We don't have a lot of Clifford in my area, so that's why I felt like it was okay to main it at this time. Okay, we're moving on to the spells. We're playing 3 Reinforcement of the Army. Great card. Searches out everything. Basically, it's 3 more monsters, essentially what it is. So that's great. I'm playing 3 Pot of Duality. I'm constantly going between 3 of this and 3 Upstart. The reason being is it really depends on what cards you open up with, because those cards are good first turn. Like, you open up with a Deneb and Upstart or a Deneb and a Pot of Duality, and you're pretty good to go because you're just going to get an extra consistency. Something I don't like about Pot of Duality is the fact that it becomes extremely less useful late game. It can be okay if you're sitting under a diamond with an omega or something, and that kind of soft lock, because you're not going to be summoning. But I do feel like this Upstart is better in the late game. This is better in the early game, and I really wanted to make sure I get my combo pieces off, so I did choose to play Pot of Duality right now, just because I want to have the best first turn opening. Since you do want to go first with this deck, you're going to be missing that 6th card, and if you open with this and Deneb or any other Satellarknight monster lets you to dig, maybe get into a Valor or a stellarnova alpha or something, just gets your combo pieces, really good card. So either this or Upstart Goblin, however, again, like unukalhai, however you feel like playing the deck. If you want to play more Triverr Turbo, by all means, play the Upstarts, but I'm playing the Dualities right now just because combo pieces are very important. Playing 3 Mystical Space Typhoons, just because Vanities kind of shuts this down. Also, this can break up Cleafort's Pendulum Scales. Like I said, there aren't that many Cleafort in my area. So if you are playing in a place where there's a lot of Necros, which is most places right now, you'd probably be fairly safe to cut one of these just because they don't play for much back row, and maybe you could fit something else like a Book of Eclipse. Book of Eclipse is really good in this deck just because it breaks up the Djinn lock because you can set all their stuff. Then you can make Triverr and bounce it all back to the hand. Obviously, they still have everything in their hand, but it does clear that board if you think you can go for game in that turn. So for one-ofs, I'm playing 1 Raigeki and 1 Book of Moon. Was playing Snatch Steal in the main, but since Burning Abyss have been kind of crept out, I put Snatch Steal into the side with a Downward Magician. That I was playing it in the main boards before, but just right now I don't feel it's as relevant. Book of Moon is obviously really good against Jinlock, and Raigeki is the same thing. Necroz, really good deck, so let's beat it. That's all the spells. We're moving on to the traps now. We are playing 3 Stellarnova Alpha. Some people weren't playing this before. I know Jeff Jones didn't. I think it was Jeff Jones, yeah, it was, who played Threatening Roar in its place, but now that Necroz are out, I think it's absolutely essential to run this card at 3, just because negating ritual spells, negating Trishes, all that stuff is very important, because if Necroz gets the advantage on you, you are going to lose. So next up for the traps, we're playing 3 Call of the Haunted, and 1 Oasis of Dragon Souls, basically playing 4 Call of the Haunted. These continuous revival traps are very good with Triverr. This lets you do end phase shenanigans, which lets you get around the Satellarknight monster's effects, which lets you only do it once per turn. If you can call back a Deneb in your opponent's end phase, you can feel free to use another Deneb on your turn, since it is once per turn. So it kind of helps get around that. End phase shenanigans is great. Also, with these, if you're going into Triverr and you have these set, you can just flip them back up, recycle stuff into your hand. Oftentimes, I'll just call the Haunted back a Veiler, make Triverr, put the Call of the Haunted and Veiler back in my hand, which really can put you at an advantage over your opponents. That's really cool. Lots of combos you can do with those. Playing 3 Fiendish Chain for the same reason. Continuous traps go back to your hand. And Fiendish Chain is just really good right now with the popularity of Necroz. I'm moving off the screen, so I'm going to put those back. Continuing on with the traps, we're playing 2 Vanity's Emptiness. Again, Necroz. Not as good as Qliphort. Like I said, there's not a bunch of Qliphort in my area, so I felt like it was okay to main this. But I feel like it probably would be anyway, just given the popularity of Necroz at this time. It's also good against Burning Abyss, so yeah, and the Mirror. Mirror is really good. Playing 2 Mirror Force has good interactions with Veiler, and it's just good against Necroz and Qliphort. This deck can set up a Dweller so easily, so if you're playing against Shaddoll or Burning Abyss, they'll get reckless. Like, if you make a Dweller and they can set up a monster that's bigger than it, like a Construct or something, they'll foolishly go like, oh, that Dweller's tiny, I'm just going to swing right over it. They'll attack into it, you chain the effect, activate Mirror Force, and they're kind of going down for the count. Also, same with Dante and all the Burning Abyss monsters. You can set up... you can do some really cool things with this card. Obviously, you don't need Veiler in the Necroz matchup to make this card good, but Dweller, Veiler, plus this card is really good, and on its own, it's just excellent. The last 3 traps are playing Solemn Warning, Bottomless Trapple, and Torrential Tribute. Torrential Tribute, I think it's okay. Sometimes I'm not even afraid to Torrential my board if I just have a Triverr or something just hanging out that I haven't made into a diamond, because... he does have a floater effect from the grave, which is cool. Bottomless, obviously really good against Necroz, and Warning, you have to play it just because Denko's still a card in some places. Moving on to the extra deck, we're playing 1 Starlight Constellar Diamond. Really good Exceed monster. This helps out in your Burning Abyss, Shaddoll, and Necroz matchups to an extent, so it's very good. 2 Satellarknight Triverr, because bouncing this back to the hand is absolutely excellent. 1 Stellarknight Delteros, because popping things can be good too, like getting rid of some scouts, something. Triverr isn't as good in the Qliphort matchup, because putting a scout back in the hand is essentially, what's the point of that? So I'd rather pop with a Delteros and see if I can get around their monsters. If they are playing towers, we do have the out in Heroic Champion Excalibur, so I'm not really worried about that too much. Playing 1 Omega, because doing the Omega Diamond Soft Lock is pretty good in some situations. Obviously, it doesn't protect them from being run over by battle, so yeah. But it's not that bad. It's actually very nice. So Omega plus Diamond, they protect each other, they're buddies, so shout out to that. Playing 1 Exciton Knight to blow up fields, just because that's good. Playing 1 Honor Arc, because stealing a Trishula is better than bouncing it back to their hand with Castel. Playing 1 Ragnazero, because Qliphort is a thing. And it's also surprisingly good against Yosenju, since they do play the Tenki, which gives them a little boost. Playing 1 Castel to bounce things back to the hand. This is still pretty good against Burning Abyss. But yeah, I was playing 2 before. I'm not playing 2 right now, just because... it's not really needed, and it's not as good against Necroz. So that's why I put the 1/1 back in. Playing 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur to get around towers, also very good for throwing in some big beat stick damage. Something to keep in mind is that if you want to make this, you can't use it with the monster you brought back with the Oasis or the Dragon Souls, because that does make the monster worm type, and this does require warrior type monsters. I did this once and I got in trouble for it. So guys, don't make that mistake. Don't try to make Excalibur off a monster you summoned with Oasis of the Dragon Souls. Alright? Okay, cool. Moving on, playing 1 cairngorgon Anti-Luminescent Knight. This is good for redirecting targets. I was playing against one of my friends. We were just playing fun decks. He had a Zenmaines up. I crashed into it, got its materials off. Put the cairngorgon out when he had to destroy something. Obviously, I just made the target itself, target Zenmaines, so Zenmaines blew itself up, and it was excellent. This is also pretty good against dodging around MSTs. If you're scared they're gonna hit one of your like a Nova or something in your back row, and you have a dead Call of the Haunted up, or Fiendish Chain, you can just throw it up on that target, and you get to evade that, so that's pretty cool. Playing 1 lavalval Chain, this should probably be an Emerald. I actually don't have any terms of recycling in the deck right now. This card, I guess it's a proxy for Emerald, but it's pretty good. Sometimes if you open up dead-ish with Vega and Unuk or something, you can Vega, summon Unuk, dump the Deneb, make the lavalval Chain, stack the Altair on top of your deck. So it's not that bad. Obviously, I prefer to have an Emerald in here, but it's good for what it is. Playing 1 Abyss Dweller, like I said before, we can spam this guy out, and it's very good with Mere Force and just shutting things down in general. We're playing 1 Rhapsody and Berserk to banish things from the graveyard. Still somewhat relevant, and we're playing 1 Cowboy to burn for game. Alright, that has been my Satellarknight deck profile. Sorry if I talked a little fast, my camera battery is dying as we speak. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments about the deck, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. This is Akito Detzel, out. See you next time, guys.